Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am sitting here incognito today because I'm actually going to go running. I am sitting here with a heavy heart, guys. This is Knowledge by Nikki with 1K. Most of you all know that already that watch me regularly. And I am sitting here with a really heavy heart about what is going on in the world today. I am just, I knew that I had come to a place in my maturity when I started watching CNN all the time. You know, some changes when you want to watch CNN. Typically, we watch CNN because it's on somebody's TV and we just can't change it. But I find myself now wanting to know more than ever what's going on in the world, but monitoring how much of it I absorb, because I do recognize that the media is controlled by as far as what it puts out and what we think. But I want to talk to my salon industry professionals about something I've discovered. And what I've discovered is and I'm talking about the black salon industry. And the reason I want to stress the black salon industry, I'm talking about anybody that services black clients. Let me be more specific. If you service black clients, whether it be women or men, then you'll fully understand what I'm about to say. We spend far more time in the salons than other nationalities. Our services take far longer than other nationalities. So it's a different experience because of the ideologies and a lot of things that actually did derive from slavery, which I will be talking about in my new book later on this year called Salon Owner/Slavery Ship. We have actually allowed, especially in the barber world, we've allowed our salons to become a place where we build connections. It becomes like a family. It becomes a place that is very important to the entire scheduling of our lives. I'll take black women. Black women literally schedule doctor's appointments, their jobs. They schedule them around getting their hair done. So it's serious in the black community. It's serious. Getting your hair done by whether it's a stylist or a barber, it is real serious, guys. So I'm really speaking today to the people that I know that have black clients. I have to specify that because I actually know a couple stylists that are white that all they service is black people. So I need to be specific in what I'm about to say. I want to give you a scenario. I want to tell you something that I realized years ago, and I want you to hear me when I say this. I had a client. This was probably 15, almost 20 years ago. And when I say, all of us may have a couple clients that we call them a little rough around the edges. I mean, this girl was about as rough as they come. She was straight hood. I loved her, but she was hood. She was the kind of friend that, we had become friends. And I don't assume that all my clients are my friends, but we actually did become friends. And I've actually known this girl long before she started getting her hair done by me. So I probably knew her maybe 10 years prior. So now we're talking about, 10, 11 years that I had done her hair about 5 years, knew her about 10 years before I started. So about 15 years. And the girl, she came from a rough family. She came from a family from drug dealers to I'm talking prostitution, to all kind of illegal, fraudulent mail scams. You know the drill. A lot of us got family members or families that operate in that fashion, so we ain't foreign to it. And I will never forget something that she told me, and it's the reason I'm doing this message today. She actually had become we call it a klepto, like stealing, but she was a booster. I mean, she's the only girl I knew that could go in a store where they got furs wrapped up, chained up, and she can get them and wrap them around her body some kind of way and come up out of there and could sell them. And she was a professional thief, like really a professional thief. So in the time that I had first met her, which was 15 years or so before this happened, this conversation we had, she would tell me, and I could see that she would kind of light up like on her abilities to be able to go out and do this. And I'm talking jewelry. Girlfriend knew how to ask you if she could see a watch or a piece of jewelry, and some kind of way you would get diverted and go, look away, and she knew how to reach in there. I mean, she was a professional. So subsequently, she got caught, and she ended up serving 6 years. So I started doing her hair. So obviously, we lost contact in that 10-year span that I knew her before I started doing her hair. So when she got out of jail, she looked me up because she had beautiful hair, beautiful girl. She wanted to start getting her hair done. In her mind, she wanted to start changing her life, right? But you know, that's more than a notion. You say it, but to actually change it is a different thing. So I'll never forget, she started getting her hair done by me, and she started getting her hair done. First, it was like, actually, it was monthly. She was just like, girl, I can't afford you. I just get it done once a month. Then she started wanting to come every other week. But this was the transition I now know in why she started coming differently, because her money didn't really change. She started coming differently because I spoke nothing but positivity over her. If she was talking crazy, and this is something that I see people do, and I know it's hard sometimes to go against the grain, but if she was talking crazy and said something retarded, the first thing I would do, I'd let her finish, and I would say, you think that's cute? That's not cute. That's not cool. I would never agree. I'm not even going, because I also realized to say nothing and to just allow her to exist, talk like this, was actually in her mind kind of agreeing. So I'm not that girl. People that know me know, don't even talk about nothing around me if you don't want me to have my 2 cents. So I started shunning a lot of the ways that she was talking about. She would get excited about, bad stuff, even though she's supposedly trying to change it. Anyway, this would be a constant battle in our conversation, constantly. And she's wanted to come every other week, now from a month to every other week. So I didn't know why. I'm like, maybe she got some money from somewhere, because she was always crying that she couldn't afford it, but she found the money, and it was never an issue with her paying me every other week. So we still battling. I love this girl. I actually need to find her. I haven't seen her in some years, but I noticed that as we start spending more time together, and I started having these conversations with her, and she would want to come early, so it wouldn't be a lot of people in there, and it could just be me and her, and we would battle. Because I was not going to allow her to think that the behaviors that she was talking about, whether she's going to do them or not, was okay. It was not okay. And you ain't gonna get me to say it's okay. Now, I can't tell you what to do, but you're not gonna get me to in any way suggest that it's okay. So this went on. So guess what, guys? She started coming every week. So here she is now. She coming every week. And I'm like, oh, girlfriend must have really found some money. She got a sponsor or something. That's what I'm thinking, right? Because that was actually a little part of her lifestyle too. So I didn't ask her. Fine, you want to come every week? Do you? I ain't even ask her. So she coming every week now. And let me tell you what I started noticing. I started noticing that her conversations were starting to change. Now, I at the time was nowhere near about as mature as I am now. I was nowhere near as knowledgeable as I am now. What I did know, though, was that right was right and wrong was wrong. And I did have the boldness, and I didn't care about going against the grain. I didn't care. I never tried to win no popularity contest. I am the type, I don't care if everybody goes left. If I don't think left is the right direction, I'm not going, period. So I was always bucking the system. I was used to that, even as a kid. So I'm not going to support bad behavior. I'm just not going to do it. So I noticed, guys, that her whole everything, demeanor, her look, even the way she dressed, because she was hood and kind of, she was kind of like masculine in just her demeanor. I mean, she was a girl's now because she loved men, but she was just rough. I saw in the 5 years that I did her, before we kind of lost contact, I saw her change before my very eyes. Now, I'm doing her hair. I'm not in here. I was saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled in. I wasn't trying to beat no Bible over her. I wasn't preaching to her. I wasn't doing any of that. But what I was not going to do was make her think that what she was doing was right when it was wrong. Okay? So I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all stay with me. It was maybe about a year before she started coming. She had hooked up with some group. Now, I didn't find this out through her because she would not have told me this. So mind you, I see the change, but I do understand that it's a struggle. And the struggle was that she was actually still running in the same circles. So I had heard through someone that knew us mutually that she had got caught up in this. I don't know if any of you all seen the movie Focus with Will Smith, but she got caught up in one of them type of groups where they high-end thieves, and they got a whole system and a racket. And so we ain't talking about no little piddly thieves just stealing stuff. No. We talking about they was high-end. That she had got hooked up with them, right? I had heard about that, and my heart was broken, but I couldn't say anything because it didn't come from her. So I was still seeing her, but I noticed her appointments went from every week now to every other week for a little while, and then they got to once a month, and I'm still seeing her in the same change, but I'm wondering what's going on. I'm thinking maybe a money gap. I didn't know what happened. So anyway, then she stopped coming completely for like a year, guys, and I was bothered. It rested on my spirit that I hadn't seen this girl no more, because I knew she was trying to stay straight, and I really, God had let me know that our conversations were helping her, and I wanted to continue to help her. So to fast track this story, she had got caught up in something real crazy with these people. Now, these high-end thieves, they going to jail for a minute, right? They doing, wire fraud, and they doing that type of thing. I happened to see her somewhere out about maybe a year later. I had stopped seeing her. She was telling me about how it came out of her mouth. She was like, let me explain something to you. And I don't know if you know this. And she had tears in her eyes, right? She said she stopped coming to me because she knew she had got involved in something that I was not going to approve of. And she couldn't lie to me. She said, I couldn't lie to you. You knew when I was lying to you, and I couldn't do it. So I didn't have to battle with you about what I was doing. I stopped coming. She said she got deep into this stuff, and I guess it got deeper and deeper, and they got into doing international stuff. It got real deep. She said she didn't go into all of what they were doing, but I could read between the lines. She said they were getting ready to do something real big, like I guess, change the game for everybody financially. And she said all she could remember was me always telling her that it ain't right. And I remember I almost cried, and I get kind of teary-eyed when I think about it now, because I wasn't doing it to beat her across the head. I was doing it because it wasn't right. She says she can remember the times that I would tell her, no, you can't do that. That ain't cool. Leave him alone. Whatever. She says she made the split-second decision to not do or go wherever they were going to do whatever they was about to get into. And every single one of them jokers got caught. And we ain't talking about no little time. We talking about some time. We talking about them jokers probably still in jail 20, 30 years, because some of them, they had records anyway. She said with her record, after being in jail for 6 years, mind you, she also still on probation. She was supposed to be in jail longer. She said she would probably have gotten minimally 30 years for what it was that they were doing. And I just remember, I think I saw her out at a store, restaurant or something, and she got tears in her eyes, and she said, I wanted to start coming back, but I was so embarrassed at what I had been doing, and I couldn't lie to you. She would always say this, I can't lie to you. And she said, I want to thank you for all the years that you poured into me. You didn't let me think what I was doing was okay. She said, I just want to thank you for that. She said, I was around all kind of people. She said, I had people that would root me on, that would say, go on, girl, yeah, get me one while you're at it, okay? And I'm getting ready to get into this looting that's happening now. She said, I would hear your voice in the back of my mind, like, don't do it. She said it was your voice that kept me from being in jail for the next 25, 30 years of my life. And it was at that moment, now I'm young, it was at that moment that I fully understood how much influence. I didn't think it was just about me. I started paying attention, and I started watching. Even other people's clients, I started watching how much these clients that get up out of our seats, they hold on to every word that we say. They call us back. Where should I go eat? Where should I go on vacation? What you think about this? You become the authority almost on what they should do, what job they should. I don't think we understand. I'm talking to the people that service Black people. I don't think, and that's because they spend so much time with us. I'm gonna give you some statistics. I actually did a little homework on this. I don't know if you all realize, but to get your associate's degree, gonna take you 60 or 90 hours to get your associate's degree. I don't care what it's in. To get that, gonna take you about 60 to 90 hours, depending on what school you go to. To get your bachelor's degree, this is college. It's going to take you about 120 hours to get your bachelor's degree. I don't care what school you go to. To get your master's degree, now it was hard to figure out this equation because it kept telling me you got to do three 2-hour credit classes twice a week for 2 semesters. So y'all figure that out. That was a story problem I couldn't figure out, but it sounded like a lot of hours, right? Then it talked about a PhD. And it talked about for a PhD, you can need anywhere from 120 to 150 hours for completion. All right, so y'all just look at them numbers. Now, this is us going to school. We got to pay them to go to school, right? We got to pay them. And then we got to do these hours, however long it take us to do it, before we actually get something we could use. I'm about to switch that for you. Look at the other way. Clients pay us, right? They pay us. Look at this. The average barber's clients sits in the chair for 60 to 90 hours per year. 60 to 90 hours per year. Okay, and that's if they going just maybe once a week. I know people get their hair cut twice a week. 60 to 90 hours. And when I say sit in there, I'm not even talking about just getting cut. They hang around after they getting cut. They come early. They sit and have a whole man conversation. I'm talking 60 to 90 hours per year. Okay, that's per year, right? It'll take you about that long to get your bachelor's. Might take you 2 years. That's per year. The average Black salon clients, okay, because we ain't in and out. The average Black salon woman client. Listen to this, y'all. I did some homework on this. 250 to 300 hours a year. Y'all hear me? In the salon. And they pay us. Y'all hear that? That's a lot of darn hours. Let me tell you. Now, this is the school of life I'm talking about. I want to connect that to what's going on today. I don't care who's out here looting. I don't care where they come from. Every single one of them gets their hair done somewhere. Y'all hear me? They go to the barbershop. They go to the salon. These same people with the mentality that as soon as something go down, whether I'm out here about what's going on or whether I just want to take the opportunity to just be devious, I don't care what their story is. All of them go somewhere to get their hair done. All of them, okay? The ones I saw, all of them, they had locks, they had twists, and they ain't all doing it at home. What I am saying to you is, imagine if you took your salon or your barbershop, and y'all share this video, because I need people to hear this. Imagine if you took your salon or your barbershop, and you literally did nothing but make sure y'all listen to the right stuff on radio, TV, make sure you talk about the right stuff. When folks want to be up in there gossiping, shut it down. We don't want to hear all that because I don't know if you all realize how much these clients hold on to what happens in here, what they see, what they hear, what they feel. And if they already coming from bad families, like I told you about my client, coming from rough families, rough situations, what ends up happening now is this place that they hold so close to their heart, it supports this bad behavior. I believe wholeheartedly and I'm not saying everybody out here that's looting is Black. Don't get me wrong, because I didn't saw some that ain't Black. I'm talking to my folks. I promise you, if you spend more time in your barbershop building up instead of tearing down, maybe like my client that would be in jail for 25 to 30 years today, the minute he or she was going to throw that brick into that glass, they think about it. They hear you in the back of their mind saying that ain't right. Maybe they would think about it. I don't think we understand the power that we have. I used to be one of them back in the day that would have people in there 8 hours like a job. Do you know what you can impart in somebody in 8 hours? sitting up in there. You could live. Just right now would be the perfect opportunity for y'all. Some of y'all that's going back to work, you that broke my heart this morning. Girl on the north side of Chicago. They are officially able to open tomorrow. They didn't tow up her shop. She can't open tomorrow. I'm crying. My heart is broke. Because I'm like, that's crazy. You've been off work for 2 months. Hey, and I am with the protesting because this killing, every time a black person, or when a black person do stuff, we shouldn't always have to die for it. Take us to jail. You doing something, go to jail. But killing us ain't right now. So I'm with that. But I am not with this destruction of property. For what? Y'all destroying black people's property. So I don't even understand what's going on. But I also recognize this. Only God could change the heart of a man. People need their hearts changed. If that's what you feeling inside, that's what you gonna do. And if everywhere you go, from your family to your friends, support your bad behavior, you don't even think you doing nothing wrong. If you don't have but that one voice, if that one voice ain't nobody but your barber, and me and my husband, we are animate about this. If it ain't nobody but your barber or your stylist, you need to go to one person that is not going to support your crap. Okay? You need to go to one person. You need to hear from one person that ain't cool. That ain't working. That is not okay. I believe it with everything in my soul. I believe one man can change the world. I believe if all them jokers get their hair done somewhere. All of them. If you become the voice that tells them what to do right, that means you got to do right too. If you, and let me tell you what's amazing. When you start preaching to other people, it'll make you stay in order because you know they looking at you. You know they watching you. This is something, I can't even watch it no more. I have to turn it off because I find myself getting teared up. I can't handle it. It makes no sense to me. I'm looking at on the back of Corona, people just now opening. I don't agree. And I ain't gonna say I don't understand because I understand from the psychological standpoint that we have a lot of people, they don't know God. They don't have any positive influences in their lives everywhere. It bothers me when I see people just support bad behavior. Why are you supporting it? And I don't know whether y'all understand this, but sometimes even to say nothing is supporting it. If you are in a position where you can say something to somebody that would listen to you about what they're doing, you are no different by not saying it than those cops that stood around and watched that cop with his knee on that man's neck. You are complicit, period. And I'm not saying just jump into stuff and give unsolicited advice, but I'm talking about I have watched people in group conversations where people would allow them to disagree, and they don't, because don't nobody want to make no waves. Don't nobody want to cause no conflict. Let me tell you something. If you want to grow, if you want to get anywhere in life, if you want your money right, your health right, your business right, your relationships right, you cannot avoid conflict. It is unavoidable. If you want to stand for something, and I'm not saying that as that cliche, stand for something, fall for anything. No, I'm saying for real. If you want your life to matter and you want people to know what you about, you are going to have to be willing to sometimes go against the grain. It is inevitable. Or you're going to be, I call people that don't ever want to do that, you a chameleon. That means every environment you in, like this green a banner behind me, that would be just like, you see my hat kind of blend in? That would be like the rest of me, just going into, what's that little X-Man that kind of changes into whatever, I don't remember which one it was, changes into the background of whatever it is that he in front of. That's what you become. You'll never get to where you're trying to go, and you'll never have the respect that you ultimately want. It took me years to understand why, when I was younger, I've always been a person that went against the grain. And I didn't do it just to be rebellious. I did it because I honestly didn't believe whatever was going on. Now, that caused me a lot of pain as a kid because I was left out. I was the alien. Nah, we ain't gonna ask her because she don't never want to go with the flow. But let me tell you what I've realized. I cried a lot as a kid because I'm like, I mean, why? Just because I want, why y'all invite me? I used to feel that way because I didn't understand it. As I became an adult, I understood those same people that are now adults. They respect me to the utmost because I didn't waver. They respect me because I didn't just go with the flow. They will tell me today that, girl, we have so much respect for you because I don't care what was going on. If you didn't want to do that, you weren't going to do it. I now realize that it is better to be respected than to be liked. That is where I am at this stage of 50 years old in my life. It is impossible for everybody to like you. If you be who you are authentically all the time, you are going to buck heads with somebody unless you flip the script every time they're around. So I want us to recognize we are in these salons hours. I used to be in a salon 17 hours a day. It is no way in the world. I'm in there 17 hours. I got 25 people that's in here 3 to 5 hours or more throughout the course of that day. It would do them a disservice for me to not put out some productive things, whether it's the music we listen to. I used to play gospel, Fred Hammond DVDs and all that kind of stuff. You control that, guys, and I don't think we understand the power that we have. We don't get it. And I believe with everything inside of me, all these people that's out here protesting, I'm not saying you're going to stop them all, but I promise you, if you spend more time talking to them same people that's out here, not the ones that's doing peaceful protests, but the ones that's out here, they say they traveling from place to place, inciting this stuff. They get their hair done somewhere. And let me tell you, whatever a man thinks in his heart, that he gonna speak about it. It's gonna come out. If they sitting in there with you for 5 hours, they can't hide that. You're gonna hear some of what they feel. You're gonna hear some of what they think, which means that as soon as they start talking crazy, or at least alluding to that they gonna do something crazy, that's when you step right on in. And you say, no, we're not doing that. No, that's not crazy. No, I can't support you with that. No, whatever it requires. And I don't think we understand the power that we have. I thank God every day for this gift. I thank him for the gift of people that not only entrust me with their hair, but entrust me with their heart. We hear stuff in chairs. We hear more than the bartender. We hear stuff that don't nobody know. That shows you that your client has put you in a particular place in their lives where they will share their deepest, darkest secrets with you. But we are misusing, and we are not using that time to actually put good stuff into these people, to shun the very appearance of evil, as the Bible talks about. We ain't, and you ain't got to be saved to do this. We know right from wrong. This ain't about me preaching to you from a spiritual standpoint. I make no bones about what I believe in. This is about me preaching to you because right is right and wrong is wrong. And that even though we don't all agree all the time on what that is, there are some things that we can come together and have a consensus on that we all know that ain't right. So if your client is telling you something or alluding to something that's not right or just a wrong way of thinking, how dare you support that? Don't you support that? That's not worth supporting. That's something that you should, every chance you get, we ain't even talking about that in here. I'm not even going to let I tell you in a minute, you come to my spot, no, we don't gossip in here. I don't want to hear that. We going to pray for them. You ain't going to use this facility to talk about, and it ain't like we talking about them trying to find answers. You just want to talk about them. I can't help you with that. Okay? Every time you say something good, every time you say something bad, I'm going to say something good. Eventually, you're going to quit talking. We are not using our power for that. And I don't even know if we know we got it, guys. I don't even know if we know we got it. If I can literally take somebody who I was not trying to preach to, who lived a life of criminal activity, who came from a family that supported criminal activity, not only supported it, but she came from a family that her trying to go straight, she'd almost be put out the family because she no longer would fit if she's trying to do the right thing because all them doing the wrong thing. If little old me, could do nothing, she paying me for this. If I could do nothing but every time she said it, I didn't beat her over the head with it. If she said something that wasn't cool, I made sure I was not in support of that. If I can do that for 5 straight years and literally change the way a person's heart is, or God using me to change it when they get ready to do wrong, imagine what you can do. I just did her hair for 5 years, even though I knew her longer. I got some people, I've done their hair for 25, 30 years. Imagine what I'm able to do if every minute of that, all I do is spend time building them up, telling them what the right thing is to do, making sure they know I ain't not being in support of the wrong thing. I'm so bad. If a client is in there, you better not support. If you look like you support it, don't support that. I'm going to tell everybody. I don't care, because this is my spot. Okay? Now, I've learned not to give unsolicited advice when it comes to just being out and about. But when God gives you that platform, that power of touch transcends energy. It connects people. When God gives you that, I need you to use it for good. Maybe some of these people out here tearing up stuff would think about it when they pick up the brick. Just like my client, who's now my friend. I haven't seen her in a while. But when they pick up the brick and get ready to throw it, maybe you will be in the back of their mind. And they'll say, no, I ain't even going to do this. I'd be embarrassed if she saw me on the news and they got me on the camera throwing this brick in somebody's window that I don't even know. So I just want to challenge everybody listening to this. I want to challenge you to shift the way you use your chair. Shift it. Start playing music that's more positive. Start playing. This is your call. Okay? God gave you more than a gift. He gave you also a platform. It's just like a ball player that says all the time, I ain't signed up to be no leader. Where you are. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that ain't what you took on. But the minute people say, because see, we love it when they praise us, when they call us and tell the whole world we wonderful. People love to actually be praised, but they don't like the responsibility that comes with being praised and putting on a platform. You got to take both sides of it. And you got to be responsible. You ain't got to be perfect, but you have to distinguish what's right and what's wrong, and make sure when you're given the opportunity to speak it, you speak it. Period. End of story. That is your responsibility. And my heart, I told y'all last week I'm building a live stream studio, so I'm out here now. My husband got some people doing some work at our house, so I told them I'd be out here, and they like cool, they doing what they got to do, but I had to turn the TV off. I can't hear it no more. I can't see it anymore. I can't see. I looked at guys were painting for me yesterday, and it was a Walmart that was out here in the city. I'm in the suburbs. It was a Walmart that was what we call, I forgot what the neighborhood is called, but it's on like 83rd Street. Not only was the Walmart destroyed, guys, but it was flooded. Like, did they knock some pipes out? I mean, I'm talking about the girl that was doing the video. She was a worker that they called in to help with the cleanup. She's tripping. She's like, I'm thinking I'm just about to come in here and sweep and pick up some, stands and displays. And she said, look at this here. She's showing the video where the water is up to her shin. So where the water come from? I have no idea, but now you got all this merchandise that may have been able to be preserved, but now it's all totally destroyed because it's wet. We are right now, when I do go to the grocery store, I'm looking at shelves empty because there's so many people buying food. Walmart was a great source of grocery. So now all the Walmart shut down. So now the stores that are still open, they are packed to the max, which means it's going to be a bigger food shortage. I don't think people understand the domino effect that comes with this stuff. Now, I'm for protesting with George. I'm for all that because this has got to stop. I actually remember as a young girl dating someone that had a fancy car, and I remember just times when I was with him. I remember being stopped by the police a crazy amount of times, being bothered. I remember them dumping my purse all over the hood of the car and letting stuff roll everywhere and just doing stupid stuff. I remember that when I was younger. I remember saying to him, you need to get rid of this car. I don't know if it's the car or if it's you or if it's both because I'm young. But I remember that, guys. I've seen it. So it's real. That thing about what we going through right now and have been going through too long, that thing is real. The problem is, though, you got to work on a man's heart. You could send him through all the sensitivity training. You won't. My very good friend is the deputy chief of a precinct here. That's a huge precinct that was thoroughly destroyed. Her and I talk about this all the time. If you don't change a man's heart, you are always going to be susceptible to that. I don't know if you all have watched movies. I've watched movies where I've seen how a kid can be bred with hate in his heart from young all the way to old. You think you give him a badge and a gun, that ain't going to come out? The thing is, we have to... God is no longer in this. I don't know where God is. God is still with some of us, but the rest of us have totally turned our backs on him. And I believe with everything inside of me that what is going on right now is biblical. I don't believe it's just haphazard. I believe it's bigger than that. And we got to pray. We got to take every opportunity we have to speak life and not destruction and not death. So if you are in a position you don't even think, I just do hair. No, you don't just do hair. You actually have the power to change lives while they sitting up in there for 60, 90, 250 hours, 300 hours. You have the power to change. The minute a person is going to make a bad decision, you got the power to make them think about it. And don't think you don't, because I thought I didn't, and I learned differently. I do an exercise, and I'm going to get off here. I do an exercise with everybody that I coach. Most of you all that know me know I'm a business coach. What I do with my people, typically in the first maybe 3 months of them coaching with me, I tell them, I want you to do this. I want you to take all clients, any clients that you have serviced for 5, 10 years. Let's say you've been doing hair 20 years. I want you to get the clients that you have serviced the longest. Get 5 of them. And I want you to ask them, and I want everybody listening to me to do this. Ask them, other than you doing a good job on their hair, why do they continue to come to you? Let me tell you something. You will learn what you really convey to people. You people will tell, they don't come to you because you just the baddest hairstylist or baddest barber in the land. It's something else they get from you. It is something. And what you will find, you have them email this to you, text it, however y'all communicate, write on paper, I don't care. You want to look for the common denominator in those 5, you can do more. In those 5 people and see what they all say about you. You will be amazed at how you are exuded to the world. When I did this for myself, it literally helped me build my brand, and it literally helped me know what I do naturally. Every single person that I did this or had them do this for me, they all told me stuff like, when I get out this seat, I feel like I can fly. What you don't let me think what I'm doing is right. You inspire me to stretch beyond where I'm comfortable. It was all that kind of stuff. It was all that in some way. I didn't know that's what I did. I was just being me. When I realized that, and God, I believe, wanted me to see that, then I took the responsibility and said, okay, if this is what I do, now let me really do it. Let me do it on purpose now. Let me learn more about what it means for me to do this and to create an environment and a culture where when people leave here, they feel like they can fly. Or if they was going to do something wrong, now they didn't change their mind. And I intentionally started doing that now on purpose. And I even hire people that when I hire people now, they also have to fit that culture or you can't work for me, period. Okay? Because I ain't going to be fighting nobody that's in the house. All right? Y'all get me? So do that. You'll be amazed at why your customers really come to you. You be amazed that you think it's just about your hair. No. It's something good or bad. So you got to be willing to hear whatever they say, good or bad, that you have done or you make them feel like, or whatever it is that they say for all the years that they come. And if it's bad, you need to fix it. If it's good, you need to cultivate it. And you need to use your salon for building up people. Now, I don't take new clients anymore because I'm trying to go the other way. I'm trying to quit. I would have people that would send me clients and say this. I know you're going to hook her hair up too, but she needs some encouragement. She needs to be in a positive environment. She needs somebody that's going to make her feel like she worth something. Do you know how wonderful that is that people would refer clients to you on the basis of that? Not just because you're going to hook their hair up. I want you to know what it is that your clients get from you. And whatever that is, if it needs to be fixed, I need you to fix it. If it needs to be cultivated, I need you to cultivate it. If it's something you need to learn more about how to do better, I need you to learn that. But I need us to take these hours, all these hours. I now literally give my clients assignments. Okay, you're going to be here every week, which most of my clients are regular. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a 3-month thing. I call it a 3-month challenge. And we're going to do this, that, and the other. I give them assignments. I'm used to doing that because I coach. So this is stuff, make it fun. Keep your clients inspired. And I say this because even the people out here creating mayhem get their hair done by somebody. Are y'all with me? That's all I'm going to say today. And I'm going to get off here and see what's going on in my house. So I want you all to take this message ain't about selling nothing. This message ain't about no conference, whatever. This message is about we have got to take control over this gift and this thing that we do called salon, beauty industry stuff, barbers, salons, whatever. And we have to take it more seriously than we do. We have to act. And let me tell you something also. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to go for real. When I started upping my prices, because ain't nothing I do cheap. I actually had clients that would tell me, well, considering I get so much more from you, I guess it's worth it. They actually felt like I was worth it well beyond the hair because they felt like they got so much more than just hair. So when I went up, and I went up, when I would go up, I would go up. I ain't just creep up, okay? So when I would go up, I would hammer them because I know I wouldn't go up, but like every maybe 4 or 5 years, so it would count. They would just say, well, I guess I'm just going to have to work an extra job. It was never that I ain't going to be able to come. It was always, I'm going to have to do something else because you want to create a dependency. You want to create an environment where your customers need you, where they literally, if they ain't here, I've had people tell me, I feel lost when I don't come because I miss our conversations. They ain't said nothing about hair. This is what you got to do, guys. You got to make them need what you provide, but you got to provide something for them that they don't get everywhere. You got them in your chair enough. You got them. They with you more than they family sometimes. All right. So that's all I'm gonna say. Cause I'm my heart is heavy right now because I'm hurting, and I really heard about the girl that's supposed to open tomorrow, and now she can't open. She got a beautiful shop too, huge shop on the north side. I'm like, come on now. Come on. It's just crazy, guys. We got to do better. I'll do my part.